Everyone needs time alone sometimes. A quiet moment away from the noise of the world can calm the mind and reduce stress. But what happens when that solitude is no longer a choice? What happens when someone is forced to stay alone for days, weeks, months, or even years? This is the reality of solitary confinement. At first, the body reacts to isolation with stress. Stress hormones begin to rise. Without social interaction or meaningful activities, the brain starts losing its sense of balance. Human beings depend on something psychologists call social reality testing. We constantly compare our thoughts with others to understand what is real. But when someone is completely isolated, that mirror disappears. As days pass, isolation begins to reshape the mind. Thoughts spiral inward. Without external feedback, the brain struggles to distinguish rational thinking from imagination. This can lead to depression, obsessions, suicidal thoughts. For some people, it may even cause hallucinations and delusions. Inside the brain, something deeper is happening. The limbic system, which controls fear and stress, becomes hyperactive. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, responsible for reasoning and decision-making, begins to weaken. The balance between logic and emotion shifts. Rational thinking fades. Emotional reactions take control. Isolation doesn't only affect the mind, it also affects the body. People in long-term isolation often experience heart palpitations, headaches, dizziness, sleep disturbances. Many lose track of time completely. Some even lose weight because of stress and loss of appetite. Some people try to survive isolation by creating routines. They exercise, they read, they write, but in extreme confinement, even the strongest routines can only do so much. The human mind is simply not built for prolonged isolation. Because of its severe psychological impact, the United Nations and many human rights organizations classify prolonged solitary confinement as a form of torture. Yet it is still widely used in prisons around the world, especially in the United States. In 2019, more than 120,000 prisoners in the United States lived in solitary confinement. Many spent 22 to 24 hours a day inside small cells. Most of these cells measure only 6 by 9 feet, often with little or no natural light. Solitary confinement wasn't always meant to punish. In the late 1700s, it was introduced as an alternative to physical punishment. The idea was that isolation would encourage reflection and repentance, but the results were far different than expected. Many critics condemned the practice. Even the famous author Charles Dickens described solitary confinement as worse than any torture of the body. The damage doesn't stop when isolation ends. Former prisoners often struggle with post-traumatic stress disorder, paranoia, anxiety. Many find it difficult to reconnect with other people. Not all countries treat prisoners the same way. Norway focuses on rehabilitation instead of punishment. Their prisons provide education, work programs, and humane living conditions. As a result, Norway has one of the lowest reoffending rates in the world. Solitary confinement may seem like control, but science shows it causes deep psychological harm. And instead of making society safer, it often leaves people more broken than before. Perhaps the truth is simple. Humans are not meant to live alone. We survive and thrive together.